The race is over. Not the checkered flag, but the yellow flag waves over the darkened race area. Fred Lorenzen takes the race. Top money goes to this 28-year-old native of Elmhurst, Illinois.
The pace car and Dan Gurney lead the remaining 21 cars across the finish line for the checkered flag. 7 are Ford. Gurney and his fastback Ford Galaxy averaged 85.
Pours on the coal. He wants to get inside Lorenzen's one-lap lead for Freddie's next pit stop. Panch moves up on Freddie and spins out. It was a last desperate attempt to put his car within striking distance of first place if the rain holds off. Black now as Lorenzen holds first place, unchallenged. And here comes the rain. The caution light means slow down and hold position. The track is getting slick. And the spectators are getting wet. The rain is coming down hard now. And so the remaining 24 cars are lined up behind the pace car. The faithful wait as the rain comes down steadily for more than an hour. And then it's over. Fred Lorenzen is the winner. Fearless Freddie finally did it at Daytona. He's the king of the super speedways with the biggest purse in stock car racing in his pocket.
To go. A blown engine going into turn number 1. Oh, and Neil Bonnet smoking badly coming off turn 4. It looks like his engine's about to go. Here's Bonnet coming to the tri-oval, slowing down. Now he wants... This could be a blessing for him if he can keep running at all. Absolutely. The engine is off. He has shut the engine off. It's gone. Bonnet just coasting around here at the end of the race. Well, what a situation this is. Where's Dale Earnhardt? Nowhere. He can't. The white flag is out. White flag is out on the field. They are under caution. Baker is streaking around to win this race, and even under caution, it will be the fastest race in history. Here he is coming out of turn number 4. And after all those years of effort, all those heartbreaks, the 1980 Daytona 500 win.
Through the tri-oval area and heading for Harold Kinder's white flag. Dale Earnhardt, where do you want to be on this lap?
Well, I don't really want to be leading it, but I like to have being second or third, have a good shot at running at the lead.
Earnhardt has a great shot out of turn number 2, heading into the backstretch, 3,400 feet of runway. For Earnhardt to work the draft, but slow car ahead. Buddy Arrington is in the low groove. Earnhardt cannot move down and slingshot on the inside. He looks, not enough room. Baker holds him off, forms the box around Arrington, and Earnhardt has to rethink his strategy. That was the primary passing point. Here they come, pounding out of turn 4. The fans are on their feet. Last time by and into the tricky travel. Earnhardt faints high and goes low. Right to the bottom of the racetrack, onto the track apron. Earnhardt draws closer, ever closer, but Baker will win the race by 3 feet. This is going to be the battleground just one lap from now. The white flag is out. The final lap of the Winston 500 is underway. Baker and Allison open it up by about 2, perhaps 3 car lengths over Walter and Rudd. We're coming to a finish. As we came down for the white flag, Rudd caught himself alongside of Walter. And as we commented earlier today, when you're running side by side, you can't go as quick, and that might have cost Walter and Rudd victory. Lap traffic in front of them as they go down the back stretch for the final time. Bobby Allison will lead Buddy Baker into turn 3. a year ago. Buddy Baker led Dale Earnhardt into that same piece of real estate and held on to win it. Up on the outside goes Baker. Down on the inside, Waltrip made a move. Allison, Waltrip sandwiched in the middle. Baker up on the top, and Ricky Rudd on the tail end. They're coming to the checkered flag at Alabama International. Bobby Allison has won the Winston 500. Allison wins it, and look at the crew. Look at Bobby Allison's wife. They are thrilled, excited. Everything you could say about one of the most magnificent. Down a street, something on the top, down out of the way of Bobby Allison. He goes across the stripe for the penultimate time. And the third place car, Cale Yarborough, is right there behind him. I wouldn't be surprised if this race doesn't end with a checkered flag. There's more to it than that after what we've seen today. White flag is out. Here is that scrappy, determined Cale Yarborough, still fussing, still fighting to get a lap back. That left arm of his so badly, right arm of his so badly burned. But he's in there all the way, 600 miles of distance. What a determined campaigner. And the checkers are about to fall. The 22nd 600 at Charlotte has been won by the Harry.
Front threesome.
They're reeling him in. I bet we have a car upside into the wall now. The Armco retainer catches Cale Yarborough as the car got sideways. One other car, two other cars spin now as Buddy Baker spins. Likewise, other automobiles off turn number 2. Two other cars spin midway down the back straightaway.
It's Earnhardt and
Waltrip. Earnhardt and Waltrip spin. Here come two other cars spinning off the turn. It's going to be Lake Speed spinning now towards the infield. Likewise, Roger Hamby as everybody spins in turn number 1 and 2 after Cale Yarborough's car seemed to lift just a bit on the right side into the Armco retaining barrier.
Here comes the race back to the start-finish line. Running for the lead, it's Gant and Parsons coming to the stripe. Down to the low side, Gant, it's Allison, Bobby Allison, just ahead of Harry Gant and Benny Parsons to race back to the caution flag with 4 laps to go. Cale Yarborough goes by the line, and the right front tire looks like it is bent in with a sheet metal on that car. He may be able to get back on pit road and get back out. The car still running.
But that chance never came because Bobby Allison just wouldn't quit, and he stayed out in front battling for the lead. Waltrip wanted to go racing with him, but Junior in the pits said no. With 9 laps to go in the race, the word came. Run 4 more laps and you've clinched 20th place and the title. Wife Stevie kept the count until that moment came. Storybook fashion, Bobby Allison won the battle 5 laps later. But Darrell have led the race. The white flag is out. Last lap. Turn number 1, Baker there on the point. He's got to be looking in that rear view mirror, wondering where Yarborough will take his shot. Now they're both brave, and he knows that there's no trying to contain Cale Yarborough. Cale Yarborough has one thing on his mind right now. Take that shot. They're in the back straightaway. Here comes Yarborough to the inside. Identical to 1979. Baker gets it wrong, and going into first goes Cale Yarborough. Yarborough taking the lead. Looking back, there's 98 Joe Ruttman into second place. Ruttman's going high, and here comes Cale trying to throw the block. He gets up there. Going under Ruttman again as they come off full. Down they come for the finish. Here comes Baker on the outside. Bill Elliott. 3 cars side by side fighting at the line. Cale Yarborough does it.
These last laps, it's kind of a chess game among the crew chief. 1 lap to go now, and for some reason, Cale Yarborough and his crew has absolutely come up with the combination.
So Cale Yarborough starting 22nd, and on his 43rd birthday. A double celebration coming up for Cale tonight as he'll head around 3 and 4 and win his 7th 500-mile race at Atlanta International Raceway. There's a relationship between first and second, and that's quite a margin these days in NASCAR racing. Last year, we had a margin of victory of 2 inches, and here it is Cale Yarborough winning it by about...
Wolf turn area, another time, but his lead is dwindling. There's a white flag, 1 lap to go, and definitely 27 is gathering ground. Going down into turn number 1, Tim Richmond is tied up in a draft. He's trying to close up for the last lap.
And they're
good battle between Darrell Waltrip and Terry Labonte. Labonte was up behind of Waltrip for the 4th position, but Waltrip now back in front of him.
There you see the interval. Cale Yarborough in first. In that second place, Tim Richmond. And in third is Bobby Allison. Looks like it's going to come down for second place at the finish line between Richmond and Allison. Cale Yarborough drawing away 15 car lengths. Live on CBS, the concluding moments of the Michigan 400 with you flag to flag. And there is Richmond throwing a block on Allison and across the checkered flag. You see it from inside of his car. It is Cale Yarborough winning. Waddell, first tire line your leader. Harold Sanders signaling to the slower drivers and move to the inside of the racetrack. He displays the white flag that Cale Yarborough will on the last lap, and the interval is less than a second once again. Yarborough goes into turn number 1 now with cars in front of him. He's on the low side of Ron Bouchard. Momentarily, Walter's out of picture. Now there he is again. Off of this 18 degrees of bank onto the back stretch for the final time. Cale Yarborough is maintaining the lead over Darrell Waltrip, and it looks like he's going to be able to pull off the victory if he can go for another less than 1/2 lap. Down low on the racetrack is Cale Yarborough, our race leader. There he is coming into turn number 4 now. Off of it, onto the tri-oval. Cale Yarborough to the inside of the racetrack. He now moves high to pass Dale Earnhardt, and Cale Yarborough wins the Champion Spark Plug 400 from Michigan International Speedway. Finishing in second position is Darrell Waltrip in car number 8 in 79 when Petty came back. Last year, Cale Yarborough with an amazing move in the last lap to set down Baker, and Bill Elliott came home in second place. This is it, the last lap of the Great American Race. Waltrip still deployed first. Yarborough in second. Yarborough edges to the outside. Back straightaway, final time. Down to the inside. The move he loves. Here he comes up to the inside. It is Cale Yarborough taking first as they get into turn number 3, coming for 4. Down to the inside. Here comes Earnhardt. Earnhardt trying for second. Bonnet trying to find a place to run. They're coming to the finish line. At the line, it is Cale Yarborough. He's done it again. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Cale Yarborough crossing the line.
As Kent leads going into the last lap, but Yarborough is in the key position. If he only has enough fuel to make it just over 2 miles now. Look at the crew. There's some serious spraying going down there. Bobby Allison is on the pit road.
Boy, I don't know what this is. I really don't know what he's doing.
Looks like he's for a stop right now, and he goes right on through the pit.
Oh, now I don't see any reason for that. That had to be a misunderstanding someplace. He just has nothing to gain by doing that.
Bobby Allison was in third place. Cale Yarborough on the backstretch, making his move now. He tries him low. He sails past there again. Cale Yarborough now is the leader. Less than half a lap to go. He holds on. Kent back in second place. Here comes Yarborough. That engine roaring. He still could run out of fuel. The crowd cheers. The checkered flag. Wait. Let's see who it'll wait for. Yarborough again. Yarborough still on the charge now. Kent is going to try him low. A slower car running high. And Cale Yarborough wins the 500 here at Talladega. And look at that.
On their feet, those in the infield are pressed against the fence, watching the final lap. Cale Yarborough takes the white flag and now has less than 2.5 miles to go, and he'll win the Vanskoy Diamond Mines 500. He's into turn number 1. Will the fuel hold for Cale Yarborough? Into turn number 1 now. Exiting it. Standing on the throttle, but perhaps not standing on it all the way, conserving those precious drops of fuel as he goes down the 3,055-foot straightaway they call Long Pond straightaway. Meanwhile, in the pits, the crew members can only talk among themselves and wonder whether he does indeed have the gas to go the distance. Now, he is out of turn number 2 and down the north straightaway for the final time.
You can see Waddell on the last shot just throw his hands up at hip level and say, I don't know, let's go for it.
It's going to be a third turn win if Harry Gant does it.
I don't think so. I think that Cale is going to hang on. Here he comes, off the third turn and down the straightaway. He crosses the start-finish line under full power, and Cale Yarborough has won the Vanscoy Diamond Mines 500, and the spectators and his pit.
White flag is out. Yarborough trying to pull away as Bouchard racing on and across the line. Has Elliott gambled, or rather has Yarborough gambled correctly here?
He has. When Rod Bouchard made that move, that's the best thing that could have happened to Cale Yarborough. It's because when they were running side by side, it allowed Yarborough to pull away. That was his only hope, I think, Ken. If they had lined up right behind each other and made that pass on the last lap, they might have pulled it off.
Bouchard made a shot at turn number 1. It looked like he had bought it. Turned sideways. I think Neil Bonnet attacked him right on as they came off turn 2. But all right, racing for the finish now. Coming down, and there's distance. Cale Yarborough may be out to win it for the first time. He's coming into the tri-oval. Cale Yarborough with his luck here. Here they are, charging. Should have a great race for second place as well. At the line, it is Yarborough across. Then it's car number 12, Neil Bonnet for second.
On this lap, and Cale Yarborough will take it with 1 to go. There is 1 lap left to go in the Miller 500, and Yarborough will take it into turn 1. He is running for the win here. Bill Elliott will give it everything he's got to catch up to him. Now, Yarborough heads it into turn 2. He's on the back straightaway. He can smell the wind right now here in the Miller 500. This crowd is on its feet as Yarborough is now down through the back straightaway. He's entered into turn 3. There's Elliott. It looks like he's not going to be able to catch him as Yarborough now comes around down through turn 4. Jeff Bodine will be running in 3rd place. Yarborough on the front straightaway, and Cale Yarborough takes the checkered flag, and Cale Yarborough has won the Miller 500.
2.66. There it is. 5 degrees, miles to go.
His wife hoping that Davey can hang on for 1 more lap, and Joey Knuckles, the young crew chief on this car, may be winning his first Winston Cup event ever.
No conversation. Joey just looking down, checking the stopwatch, checking the chart. He's making sure that he's done everything right. Anything to keep your mind off of the emotion. Davey Allison, a half a lap to go.
Let's watch and see if Davey Allison can win the Winston 500. He's in turns 3 and 4. He's on to the tri-oval, a short straightaway connecting turn 4 and the dogleg here in front of the grandstand. He's a few feet away from the checkered flag. There it is. Davey Allison wins. Terry Labonte finishes 2nd. And Dale Earnhardt finished 4th. He was passed by the number 21 car of Kyle Petty as they came down. So Kyle Petty picks up 3rd, and Earnhardt drops to 4th. Then Bobby Hillin.
The decision they made was the correct one. Okay, let's take Davey around. Let's talk him around during the final lap. In the groove, about 12 feet off the wall down the front stretch. He nips the white line on the inside of turn number 1. Lets the car drift not nearly as high as he has throughout most of the race. He moves back into the groove coming out of turn 2. In front of the air-conditioned, the climate-controlled horse grandstand. Into turn number 3. Drops down low. Finds that middle groove between 3 and 4. He'll nip the line coming off number 4. Lets the car drift high uphill, and Davey Allison takes the checkered flag. And Davey Allison has career win number 2 in just 16 starts. An incredible story.
Davey Allison now comes out of corner number 2 and heads down the back stretch for the final time, and the crew is hoping and praying that it'll stay together for him.
And Morgan Shepherd just went high coming off of turn 2. Both Rusty Wallace and Bill Elliott moved around him. There they are, the 3 cars, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
And Phil Parsons apparently has blown a motor. He's down in turn number 1 with a lot of smoke coming from that car. Here we go. Here's the shootout. Remember, Davey Allison is the leader. Here he comes. Davey Allison wins the Champions Mark.
Well, I'm really happy for Davey Allison because he's such a class-act kid. But Bobby Allison, the way he sounded today, that's 1,000 times better for me. And we love you, Bobby, and can't wait to see you at the racetrack.
Going to hold up his number, number 84. Next year he'll become part of the Stavola team, but the number 12 is still very much on the calendar with the Stavolas for 1988 for Bobby Allison. Checkered flag is about to fall on his son, who has won here the Richmond 400 this afternoon of this brand new track.
That
what
one's for you, Dad, huh?
Yep.
Makes you feel good.
But it is do or die time for these first 3 cars. They cross the stripe and get the white flag. There is 1 more lap to go.
Now what has to happen here is that Terry Labonte has to pull out
backstretch for the final time. Terry Labonte is looking right, looking left. Can't find the opportunity he needs. Davey Allison is right there in the middle of the racetrack. Let's see what Terry Labonte can do, if anything, and what Mark Martin can do. It could be that they'll just have to stay in line and finish this way. Here they come into the tri-oval.
The slow car will help. The slow car will help Davey Allison. Flip over, Davey, get some air.
Let's watch. It's Davey Allison coming to the stripe. Terry Labonte right behind him. I don't think he's going to do it. No, Davey Allison wins the Winston 500 with Terry Labonte second. And Mark Martin in third position. He waves it for Davey Allison and Morgan Shepherd and Bill Elliott and Bill Parsons. They're on the last tour of the 2.5-mile tri-oval at Daytona in the Pepsi 400. It is Allison that is staying out front by about a car length over Morgan Shepherd as Bill Elliott falls back just a little in third position. They come out of the 31 degrees of banking and down the flat backstretch for the final time, and they pass by Darrell Waltrip, who was successful here at this racetrack in February in the Daytona 500. Now, the cars set themselves into turn number 3, and Davey's wife, Morgan's wife, is just hoping and praying everything she has that Morgan can pull out the victory. Let's see, we have a battle for third position. The win is going to be by Davey Allison. He crosses the stripe and wins. Morgan is second, and Bill Parsons, I believe, got third at the last moment, passing Bill Elliott.
He sure did. There's Davey Allison, a happy
Here's Marlin getting a little bit sideways again and Rudd looking, but nope, the white flag is out. One more lap to go. Let's see what happens on the last lap. Again, it is Davey Allison.
Oh, Sterling Marlin
spins off of corner number 2. Sterling Marlin spins down the backstretch. Here comes Mark Martin trying to make a move off of corner number 4. It's a drag race.
Wow.
I don't know. A photo finish. I think Davey Allison won, but I wouldn't say for sure.
I agree. I think he had him by about 3 or 4 inches, but I mean, you know. Wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. One of those guys jumping
One car back to the line. White flag is out on Davey Allison. Well, his dad won this race for Bud Moore. Won it for Holman Moody. Won it for Junior Johnson one time.
I'm sure Davey Allison's going to want to win this one for Raymond Fox.
Yes, indeed. Raymond Fox, who built so many great engines over the years for so many great teams and was lost the week of the Die Hard 500 down at Talladega this year. Down to the line, last lap, checkered flag getting ready to fall on Davey Allison, waving as he crosses the stripe. And the Robert Yates team with awards that we win are worth it.
Here it goes. He took the white flag the last lap. Boy, that car has been so dominant for a month, not a week or so. This thing's been here for 2 or 3 weeks, and they have just been unbeatable.
Close so many times. Doesn't count for anything in automobile racing. For this moment, as he comes around to win his 9th Winston Cup event, this day, this entire month of May in Charlotte, North Carolina, has belonged to the Alabama gang. Davey Allison has done it, and he's done it in...
Surprise, a Ford Davey Allison win of a road course. Is this the checker or the white flag? I've lost track.
And coming up on the white flag, Benny. Here they are.
Rudd is there.
11. Oh, and Davey Allison is spun. Ricky Rudd now has the lead. All kinds of contact here in the last few laps. And the white flag flies for Ricky Rudd. Well, we'll see what happens here in the final lap.
Davey Allison did get the car going. He still is in second place. Well, there's going to be some tempers flaring in the garage area.
Oh, you can say that again. Yep. Davey Allison had the lead and was tagged by Ricky Rudd in turn number 11, coming down for the white flag. NASCAR officials apparently talking over this situation. He's headed toward you for the final time, Ned.
Big Baby is not here. Comes into turn 7 here in very good shape. As the NASCAR officials talk over what they're going to do.
Davey Allison's crew looks on.
Davey Davey's not too far behind him, too far behind him to catch him before they get back unless Rudd has a problem. But I'll tell you what, that's not a happy bunch of campers we just saw in that tied pit. I don't know what's going on down there, but they didn't look like they were jumping up and down with joy in there.
Ricky Rudd brings the car once again down through the S's. This will be for the final time this afternoon. Now entering turn number 11, and Ricky Rudd is apparently going to receive the checkered flag and the win of the Banquet Frozen Foods 300. Here he comes, waving to the pit crew as he passes by. The black flag is shown to Ricky Rudd. Rudd has shown the black flag. Davey Allison is shown the checkered flag.
They did not give the win to Ricky Rudd, Bob?
No, they gave the black flag to Ricky Rudd as he came down and passed under the start-finish line. They waved the checkered flag to Davey Allison, and he apparently is going to win this race.
Well, why don't somebody jump in? I don't think there's any question but what he has made a big difference, and Davey is quick to tell you that, too. He said he brought so much stability among the personnel there. Everybody likes Larry McReynolds, and he's a sharp individual. Came over from the Kenny Bernstein team, as we said, back about the 1st of April.
By 11, this will be one of the biggest leads anyone has ever enjoyed at this track, and it's still about 11 seconds. Can you imagine that?
And it's one of the biggest leads we've seen in a while in Winston Cup racing.
400 miles, and 11 seconds will settle it at the end of the distance, and it will be Davey Allison one more time as he comes around. Checkers are about to be unfurled, and the winner of the Michigan 400 is Davey Allison. Davey Allison scoring his 11th win by.
1 lap to go. The car right behind him is Harry Gant. 1 lap car, Jimmy Hensley. Davey looks up high, and Hensley had the racetrack. Harry Gant will close in, and being a tough car to lap. Gant is within 8 car lengths as they come off turn 4 for the final time. Davey Allison will win the AC Delco 500. Harry Gant finishes second.
Here he comes, 1 to go.
White flag from Doyle Ford on the flag stand. Final circuit.
You know, we could have made a picture of that car about halfway and just showed it over and over because the car's never moved out. It never got sideways or pushed or anything.
Second place may still be in question. A lap car separates Waltrip from Marlin. Coming out of turn 4 for his 13th career Winston Cup victory, Davey Allison wins the Pyroil 500.
See if he can make that run, and he's able to close it up right now.
Back to the stripe, white flag, and 1 lap to go to decide the Daytona 500. Davey Allison in front and Morgan Shepherd in second. Shepherd stays right there. He's closed it all the way down. Robert Yates looks on. Davey Allison's mentor.
Okay, he's backed off a little again to see how much momentum he can get. He tried it the last time around. He was able to pull right back up on his bumper. Timing is everything now, Neil.
That gap right there should pay off at the end of the back straightaway if he's got the momentum to do it.
Around Michael Waltrip's car. Down for the finish. Going into turn 3. Mike?
Glenwood, can he do it? I don't think so. He's pretty strong. It's just up to Morgan how he gets into turn with him.
Here they come. Morgan down to the line. Davey Allison first. Morgan Shepherd gets it all back there. Has he got anything left? Coming to the stripe. Morgan comes to the inside, and Davey Allison is going to win the Daytona 500.
He is catching Bobby Hillen.
Here we go. Here's the last lap. The white flag is out.
Now, Hillen's going to be there where Rusty would like to be. Down on the inside. He can't get down there as low as he would like to get, though. That's right. The last time he was right down there where Hillen was.
Allison leads down the backstretch. Rusty looks to the inside in turn number 3. Will it be Allison or Wallace? Here they come off the 4th turn. It is going to be Davey Allison winning by about a car length over Rusty Wallace.
6 miles to go for Davey Allison.
Elliott looks on the outside. Davey David's going to try to take him up high. Here comes Earnhardt on the inside. Now Bill comes down and they almost touch.
They did touch, I believe, but Elliott managed to stay in second, and he managed to keep Dale Earnhardt back in third position. Still no movement. They run nose to tail down the backstretch. Let's see what happens now at the end of the backstretch as they set into the 33 degrees of banking of turn number 3. Ernie Irvan looking to the inside. There goes Dale Earnhardt to the outside. Ernie will follow him. Dale slides way up on the racetrack. He's in a battle for second position with Bill Elliott. They move off of turn number 4 and come down through the tri-oval. Davey Allison still has the lead. He's trying to break the draft. It looks like he's going to win it. Battle for second between Elliott and Earnhardt. Here's the checkered flag, and Davey Allison wins it. Second place goes to Elliott. Third place to Earnhardt. Fourth, I believe, to Marlin, and fifth to Irvan. But boy, it was close.
It was close. And Davey Allison, $100,000 in the bank. 2 shots to win $1 million.
If he can win the Coca-Cola World 600.
Hey, please hang on. Just give me enough to make one more lap. As he gets that white flag this time around, all we like is 2 miles. They even get me back into turn 3. I believe I can coast the rest of the way.
It's bad enough to get beat by another car, but you don't want to get beat by your own car running out of fuel.
Down to 3 and 6/10 seconds as he eases back on the throttle just a little more. Eases back like 180 miles per hour in the back straightaway. After his 17th career win, Davey Allison, current Winston Cup point leader, where he's been ever since that great Daytona 500 run he had at the outset of the season. Here's Allison streaking around. Final moments coming down, looking for that bonus. Looks like he's going to nail it. Here he comes out of turn number 4, and for the second straight year, the winner of the Michigan 400 is from the Alabama gang.
Morgan Shepherd has run out of gas.
Morgan Shepherd running out of gas as he comes to the line. Waltrip will come home in second spot.
Out of turn 4, Davey Allison will win it. Marlin tries to pin Kulwicki down.
That team from Harry Ranier back in '88. White flag is down, and there's 1 to go. Davey Allison in his 5th year with Robert Yates is on his way in that final lap, looking for win number 19. There's one here, as we mentioned earlier, in the fall race, which is now a Saturday night affair. We're going to be here in September to enjoy it. Allison coming from 18th to 8th in the Winston Cup.
Very pivotal race in the Winston Cup Championship. The white flag waves for Ernie Irvan, who's less than a half a mile away from his first victory with this team. And there is the situation with Earnhardt. He continues to sit behind pit wall and watch his NASCAR Winston Cup points lead diminish. Here is a big win for Ernie Irvan and for the Robert Yates, Larry McRiddle, Texaco Havoline Ford team.
This is very emotional.
Rusty Wallace comes home second, Spencer third, and Ricky Rudd is fourth.
But the story, a dramatic one, is unfolding back in second spot. Mark Martin holding on. Earnhardt desperate, worth $1 million bonus if he can win the championship, and his lead has been eroded dramatically into those final corners now. Here they come for the finish. Here's your winner to the stripe. That is white flag is out. 1 lap to go.
A great run by Jeff Gordon. You know, it looks like maybe if this event would happen to be longer, Jeff has gotten his car working better as the day has gone on also.
Down to the final lap. Ernie Irvan staying up in front in the final moments of this race with some brilliant pit stops, is coming down to win the Pontiac Excitement 400. In second spot is Rusty Wallace. Jeff Gordon will be across the third. Earnhardt for fourth. Kyle is in fifth.
The white flag is displayed by Darrell Ford. One more circuit around the 1.6-mile racetrack for Ernie Irvan.
Just can't do it. Nope. Cushion picked up just a couple of laps ago. It's just, he's not going to accelerate off the corner like he wants to.
Irvan has the car in the third and fourth turns now. Coming on to the straightaway, heading for the checkered flag for the second consecutive time in 1994, and going further into the lead in the point standings. Corner number 11 crossing the line. White flag, 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go. Here's Jeff Burton, the highest rookie at the moment. And this is a battle for 15th position between Burton and Ricky Rudd. Ernie Irvan is on his last lap. Inside with Ricky. Up to third.
In the meanwhile, here's another great race as Mark Martin is closed up on the back number. Morgan Jarrett tried to get alongside. Down to 11, lost 2 or 3 car lengths.
It's a battle for 7. Morgan has 7. Mark 8. Ernie Irvan, meanwhile,
coming into turn 7, Bob. Just nice and smooth around here. No traffic in front of him. Hutch Strickland is up a couple hundred yards in front of him, but no threat as he comes through the S's here. Just nice and smooth as he has done most of the day. I'll tell you, don't often see a car that dominant in NASCAR Winston Cup competition. As Denny said earlier, that crew did their homework, prepared a great car. Ernie Irvan has done a great job of driving it today as he heads towards Benny.
And they took this car to Road Atlanta, just north of Atlanta last week, and tested it for 2 days so they'd be assured, get all the bugs worked out, and it looks like Road Atlanta is a very good tested place for Sears Point.
off of corner number 11, Ernie Irvan sees the checkered flag waving, and Ernie Irvan crosses the line and wins his 3rd race of 1994 and registers his 12th career win in his 186th start. Ernie Irvan
to try to conserve fuel. White flag is out, coming down for the final lap. Larry McReynolds, Robert Yates, waiting patiently on pit road. They've been here so many times. There's been so many heartbreaks for this team in the last several years, but right now Dale Jarrett trying to put it back, and we're seeing Morgan Shepherd come onto pit road. Remember, he's running a lap down in 19th. Can't make it all the way. Car began to choke up on him and sputter.
Dale Jarrett has put about 10 car lengths of distance between the two of them just this last half a lap.
They've still got to get all the way back to the line. Doesn't look like that 28 has missed a beat yet. Here's critical turn coming up for Dale Jarrett, where he's had trouble earlier. Anything left in Jeff Gordon's number 24. 6-car interval between 1st and 2nd spot. Ricky Rudd has come to 3rd. Musgrave is in 4th. Robert Yates looks on with Larry McReynolds as down comes the checkered flag to fall today on car number 28. Dale Jarrett has done it. He's won the Miller 500 at Pocono.
Eli, there's about 110,000 people that are on their feet right now cheering for Ernie Irvan on.
Well, if you don't have goosebumps on your legs and arms now, you don't have feelings, is all I can tell you.
Taking it easy now. He's got a 6-second lead. Since Sears Point in May of '94, and near life-threatening injuries since, Ernie Irvan battled back. He's now a quarter mile from capping off that comeback. The fans going wild. Ernie Irvan, he's back in victory lane. And look at the celebration in the Texaco Haviland pit area. Randy, we see you right there in the middle of it.
Turn 4, Gordon tries, bobbles, doesn't, white flag out. One more lap to go. Irvan now stretches it out a little. Gordon has another run on him, though, on the low side of turn number 2. They're down the backstretch, and Gordon cannot make any headway. It looks like that Ernie Irvan may have him. They're in the 3rd and 4th turns again. Gordon closes in. Here they come up the corner to the line. It's Ernie Irvan winning the Miller 400 over Jeff Gordon. Wow. Jeff Burton 3rd, then Dale Jarrett and Terry Lombard.
A lap down as he takes a white flag.
18th place car. Ricky Craven goes 1 lap down. His wife Kim looks on. He's willing to let him go.
That's smart. Very smart.
Final lap. The number 28 stays in 1st. 3.5 seconds back to Bill Elliott. And for Ernie Irvan,
A guy who gave everything nearly, just about everything, 10% chance of living after that crash in '94 right here in turn 2. Here he comes around, headed for checkers. Ernie Irvan is finally going to win the track that nearly did him in. Ernie Irvan for the checkered flag, and he's won the Michigan 400.
Car looks good. He's going to move down to the inside a little bit. The white flag's out. The fans are on their feet. They're all waving. Everybody wants to see Ricky Rudd win this race.
Rick Cordell is spotter, coaching him through.
Everybody's done a good job today. Michael McSwain in the pits, a little puff of smoke out of the right front. Back up on the throttle. One more time off of turn 2, down the long back straightaway. Cruising on a Sunday afternoon.
Not only is it 89 races since he won, it's his 44th Pocono start, and he has yet to go to victory lane here.
He's going to run up on a couple of slow cars here. I don't think they're going to be a factor. I believe everybody's aware of the fact that he's coming. See Terry Labonte pull down out of his way.
Clear.
Negotiate this last turn. Ease it down in there. And here he comes, smooth up off of turn 3. Slider back into 4th gear.
Well, he won practice. He killed it for the pole, and Ricky Rudd scores his 21st Winston Cup victory. The first time Rudd has ever won from the pole. As Michael McSwain and Linda Rudd climb down.
Easy, fatback. Don't hurt yourself, buddy. Take it easy, man.
It's 25-30 laps.
White flag is out. Final lap for Ricky Rudd. He inherited the lead when Rusty Wallace slipped off a 2. Then Rudd's car got away. Kevin Harvick took the lead. He got back to Harvick. Used the old bump and run on him with 5 laps to go. And it's going to be a big night in the championship for Ricky Rudd. Checkered flag is up. Rudd wins the Chevy Monte Carlo 400 at Richmond.
Time by 19 was running 9th when that happened. Stewart has knocked it down to 3.8 seconds, but if Rudd hits his marks, he'll get his second Sears Point checkered flag.
Ricky Rudd will hit his marks.
No question. For a long time considered one of NASCAR's most accomplished road racers.
Of course, he pretty much has promised us within a couple of weeks that an announcement will be made about his future, what he's going to do and with this 28 car.
The way his year has gone, just trust me. Let's get him back around here, okay?
Okay.
I know things look really, really good, but at Pocono last week, a couple weeks ago, they looked really, really good too.
And he cut a tire. And at Dover, leading the race, missed a lug on the last pit stop. At Richmond, mechanical trouble, was up front there. And here he comes, down through the S's to turn 10 for the final time.
One more corner, Ricky, turn 11.
Tony Stewart closing in at the final corner. For the first time since Watkins Glen 1990, Ricky Rudd's going to be a road course winner. Ricky Rudd and the Haviland Taurus win